Do you believe in comebacks? Because Newcastle look ready to pull off one of the biggest of the transfer window, and they might just hijack a deal from right under Manchester United's nose. But hold on, that shocking twist comes in our third story today. Before that, we got two huge updates you need to know. Welcome to Newcastle Mania. I'm Rodrigo, a fan just like you. And here, we live and breathe Newcastle with emotion, opinion, and pure passion. So buckle up, because today's video is exactly what you've been waiting for. Transfer targets on the radar, big names in dispute, and in the end, a £70 million bid that could completely change the future of our attack. But first, just a quick word. Remember those Chelsea fans who said this channel wouldn't grow because our fan base was too small? Well, they are starting to go quiet because our numbers are going UP. So let's keep going strong. If you love Newcastle and want to shut them up once and for all, hit that subscribe button right now. It's totally free, but it sends a loud message. Let's hit 1,000 subscribers together and show the world what the Black and White Army is all about. On News 1, Newcastle prepare bid for Marc. To kick off today's news in style, we're talking centre-backs in an open checkbook. Newcastle United are preparing to make an official £40 million bid for a player we've been tracking for a while now. Marc, captain of Crystal Palace. That's right, him, one of the most solid and consistent defenders in the Premier League in recent seasons. Young, technical, strong in the challenge and fully experienced in the English game, Gui is the kind of player who walks straight into the starting 11. But of course, nothing comes easy for Newcastle in this window. Here's the catch. Palace won at least £50 million. So for now, there's no deal in place. According to the Times, Newcastle are ready to reopen talks and try to get things moving, because honestly, we can't afford to waste any more time. Especially after watching Joao Pedro and Liam Delap choose Chelsea, and Hugo Ekitike snub us for Liverpool. The fans are starting to lose patience, and rightfully so. This transfer window has turned into a full-on nightmare, and every new name on the radar gives us a bit of hope that maybe, just maybe, the club is ready to fight back. So why is Gui seen as such a key target? Because he's only got 1 year left on his contract in South London, which basically means Palace might want to cash in now before losing him for nothing later. But here's the other problem. Chelsea and Liverpool are also in the race. And we all know how those transfer battles tend to go, right? Still, this time, Newcastle seem more determined. Marc is seen as someone who can take on responsibility right away, especially with our current defense getting older. Scar's almost 34, Dan Burn is 33, and Botman's been dealing with injuries over the last few years. So Gui wouldn't just be a short-term fix, he's a player for now and the future. What's missing? Well, either Palace need to lower their asking price, or Newcastle have to stand firm and pay what it takes to get their man. Over the next few days, anything can happen. But what's already clear is this. Marc Gui's name is heating up, and this transfer saga might be just getting started. Could we be about to sign the new sheriff of the backline? We're watching closely, and you'll be the first to know everything, right here on Newcastle Mania. News 2. Malik Thiaw back on Newcastle's radar as Scar's successor. While Marc Gui's name is heating up, there's another big defender making a return to Newcastle's radar. Malik Thiaw from AC Milan. Yes, that Malik Thiaw who the club had already kept an eye on in the past. And now, according to Italian journalist Matteo Moretto, Newcastle have made a new inquiry to understand what it would take to bring him in. And why all this interest? The reason is crystal clear. We need to refresh our backline. Fabian Schär turns 34 this December. Dan Burn is already 33. And Sven Botman, who was meant to be the rock of the future, is still struggling with injuries. So, the board wants someone young, physically strong, and ready to perform at a high level for years to come. And Thiaw ticks every box. He's 23 years old, German, solid in physical duels, good on the ball, and has already played alongside Sandro Tonali. So he's familiar with the style our Italian midfielder brings to the team. But of course, this won't be an easy signing. Thiaw has already rejected a move to Como, making it clear that he'll only switch clubs if it means playing Champions League football. That immediately puts Newcastle in the running, especially with the ambitious project being built here. On the flip side, Milan have no plans to make this simple. First of all, Manager Massimiliano Allegri really likes him and wants to keep him. And second, the Italian side won't accept anything below 30 million euros, way above what Como had offered a few weeks ago. Even so, things are heating up behind the scenes. Newcastle have reignited their interest and are now carefully evaluating how to put together an offer that could convince both Milan and the player. And here's the important part. The market is moving fast, and if you wait until the end, you risk missing out completely. That's why the board are keen to move early, even though nothing official has been submitted yet. Theo is once again a hot topic in the halls of St. James Park, and if talks progress, he could very well be the next new signing. Could he be the new number 5? Could we finally see the Botman-Theo partnership come to life? What we do know is this: the interest is real, the need is urgent, and if Newcastle want to compete with the Giants, we've got to invest big in defense as well. We'll be watching closely, because this story could take a sharp twist at any moment. And of course, you'll hear it all here, on the channel made by fans and for fans, Newcastle Mania. News 3. Bombshell. Newcastle go after Benjamin Sesko with £70 million bid. Alright, here we go. This is it. The most anticipated moment of the video. The biggest headline of the day. And brace yourself, Toon Army, because this could be the biggest signing of the PIF era so far. Newcastle are going all in for Benjamin Sesko, striker from RB Leipzig, one of the most promising talents in all of European football, and we're now in direct battle with Manchester United to get him. And this isn't just some random bid. First, the Magpies made an offer of £65 million plus bonuses, but Leipzig stood firm and rejected it. So Newcastle came back stronger, with a new bid of £70 million guaranteed, and with all the add-ons, the total package would go beyond £78 million. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly £80 million for a 22-year-old striker with a build of a classic centre-forward, speed to burn, and absolutely massive potential. But here's the twist that made everything even more intense. Manchester United have joined the race. The Red Devils have now matched Newcastle's bid, and it's up to Sesko to decide. That's right, the choice is in his hands. And to make things crystal clear about how serious this is, Sesko was left out of RB Leipzig squad for their friendly against Atalanta, and the club's directors didn't even try to hide the reason. With 2 major Premier League clubs in the mix, we've chosen not to risk playing him until the situation is resolved. So, here's where we stand. Newcastle have done their part. The offer is on the table, and the message has been sent. Either Sesko gives his answer within the next 48 hours, or we'll move on to another target. And why the rush? Because we urgently need a replacement for Alexander Isak. Yep, that's exactly what you just heard. Bringing in Sesko is directly connected to Isak potentially leaving. Things between Isak and the club have been getting worse. First, he skipped pre-season, which already set off alarm bells. Then, he traveled to Spain on his own, didn't tell anyone, and went to train at Real Sociedad, his former club. Officially, the club said he had a minor thigh problem. But here's the bombshell. Eddie Howe found out about the trip from the press. That's right, the manager had no idea. So now, trust has been broken. The atmosphere behind the scenes? Tense. Isak is back in Tyneside, was spotted at the training ground. But the full squad isn't back yet. They only return in a few days, so it's still a bit on the outside. And while all of this is happening, Liverpool are watching closely. Their last bid was £110 million, and Newcastle immediately rejected it. But now, with Sesko almost ready to join, the board might just open the door. The club is still demanding £150 million for Isak. If Liverpool come back with that number, the transfer could happen fast. The truth is, we're stuck in the middle of a transfer saga with an open ending, and however it finishes, it could totally transform our attacking line. On one side, Sesko, young, hungry, and ready to explode in the Premier League. On the other, Isak, our current superstar, but maybe with one foot already out the door. So tell me, Toon fan, what would you do? Would you sell Isak for £150 million and bet everything on Sesko? Or would you try to keep both and build a strike force that could scare the league? Time's ticking. And the next 48 hours could shape the future of Newcastle United. Get ready. The transfer window is on fire, and here at Newcastle Mania, you'll get every twist, every update, and every moment, from one fan to another. If you've made it this far, it's because you truly love Newcastle. So tell me, do you think Sesko is what it takes to wear the number 9 shirt? Do you still believe Isaac belongs at the club? Or is it time to move on? Drop your opinion in the comments. I want to hear what you think. And if you also believe Newcastle deserves players who honor this shirt, who feel the weight of black and white, and who give everything on the pitch, then this channel is for you. Smash that like button, share this video with a fellow fan, and hit subscribe right now. Here at Newcastle Mania, we speak from the heart, no cold journalism, just raw emotion, passion, and honest opinions. Let's prove to everyone that the Newcastle fan base is massive, loyal, and growing fast. We're pushing towards 1,000 subscribers, and we're doing it together. This is the Black and White Army. This is Newcastle United. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.